Pull your refrigerator away from the wall. Right now, if you can. Just a few inches. Look at the coils on the back, or the bottom. If you have never done this before, what you are about to see is going to make you uncomfortable. A thick layer of gray dust, lint, pet hair, debris built up for years. That layer right there is why your electric bill is higher than it should be. And I am not talking about a small amount. I am talking about $150 to $200 a year silently added to your bill for something that takes 8 minutes and a $6 brush to fix. I want to tell you about a refrigeration technician named Gary. Gary spent 26 years repairing refrigerators and freezers across the Midwest. He retired in 2021, and when I asked him what the single most common problem he saw in people's homes was, he did not say compressor failure. He did not say refrigerant leak. He said dirty coils. He said it so fast, so automatically, like he had answered that question 1,000 times. I asked him what percentage of service calls he thought were caused or worsened by dirty coils. He thought about it for a second. He said, honestly, more than half. More than half. And the fix is something you can do before dinner tonight. Here is the science, because you deserve to understand exactly what is happening inside that machine. Your refrigerator works by moving heat. It does not create cold. It pulls heat out of the inside of the box and dumps it outside. That is the entire job. The condenser coils are where that heat gets released. Hot refrigerant flows through those coils. The coils radiate that heat into the air around them. A small fan blows air across them to speed that process up, and the refrigerator stays cold. That is the whole system. Simple, effective, brilliant. Now here is what happens when those coils are buried under a 1/4 inch of dust. The dust acts as insulation. The heat that needs to escape cannot escape. It gets trapped. The refrigerant stays warmer than it should. The compressor, the most expensive part in the machine, has to work harder. It runs longer cycles. It runs more frequently. It pulls more electricity every single hour of every single day. The Department of Energy has documented this. Dirty condenser coils can increase refrigerator energy consumption by 30 to 40%. Not 3%, 30 to 40%. Your refrigerator is already one of the highest energy users in your home. It runs 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. It never gets a day off. A 30% increase on a machine that never stops adds up faster than almost anything else in your house. Let me put a dollar amount on this. The average American refrigerator uses about 400 to 600 kilowatt hours of electricity per year when it is clean and running properly. At the national average electricity rate, that costs roughly $50 to $75 a year. Now add 35% because the coils are dirty. You are now at $68 to $100. But here is what most people do not account for. When the compressor runs harder, it also runs hotter, and heat is the enemy of every mechanical component. Gary told me the #1 cause of early compressor failure he saw in the field was thermal stress from restricted airflow. A compressor in a properly maintained refrigerator lasts 15 to 20 years. A compressor running hot because of dirty coils, Gary said he regularly saw failures at 7 to 9 years. A replacement compressor runs $200 to $500 in parts alone, not counting labor. A new refrigerator runs $800 to $2,000. So you are not just paying more every month on your electric bill. You are shaving years off an appliance you paid $1,000 for, all because of dust. Now I want to tell you something that genuinely surprised me when I found it. LG, Samsung, Whirlpool, GE, every major appliance manufacturer publishes maintenance guidelines for their refrigerators. Every single one of them recommends cleaning the condenser coils. Most say every 6 to 12 months. I pulled the manuals for 11 different refrigerator models. Every single one had the coil cleaning instruction. And yet, when researchers at the American Council for an Energy Efficient Economy surveyed homeowners about appliance maintenance, fewer than 8% had ever cleaned their refrigerator coils. 8%. The instruction is in the manual. The manufacturer tells you to do it. And 92% of people have never done it once because nobody reminds you, because there is no money in reminding you. Think about who benefits when your refrigerator breaks early. The appliance store that sells you a new one. The manufacturer that builds a new one. The utility company that powers a new, less efficient unit while the old one degrades. The repair technician who charges $80 just to walk in your door, look at your coil, vacuum them for 10 minutes, and hand you an invoice for $120. Gary told me he had a customer in Indiana, single mother, 3 kids. She called him because her refrigerator was running constantly and her electric bill had jumped $40 a month. He came out, looked at the coils, and they were completely matted with pet hair. He cleaned them in 12 minutes, charged her $95. He said, "I felt awful. I almost didn't charge her." I asked him why he did. He paused. He said, "That's just how the business works." He said she could have done it herself with a $6 brush from the hardware store. 12 minutes, $6 versus $95 and a service call she had to schedule a week out. Same result. Here is exactly what you do. First, find your coils. On refrigerators made before about 2000, the coils are usually on the back, a large grid of black tubing running up and down. On most modern refrigerators, the coils are underneath, behind a snap-off grill at the bottom front. Pull the grill off. You will see a flat panel of coils and usually a fan. Step 1. Unplug the refrigerator. This is not optional. Unplug it. Step 2. Use a refrigerator coil brush. It is a long, thin, flexible brush with stiff bristles. Costs $5 to $8 at any hardware store or online. Insert it into the coil area and work it back and forth. You are pulling that layer of dust and debris loose. Step 3. Vacuum everything out. Use the narrow attachment on your vacuum cleaner. Get as deep as you can. Get the fan blades too, if you can reach them. Step 4. Wipe the grill clean. Snap it back on. Plug the refrigerator back in. Total time, 8 to 12 minutes. Total cost, $6 if you buy the brush. $0 if you already have one. Gary said after cleaning coils, he could feel the difference in the machine within an hour. The compressor cycle shortens, the unit gets quieter, and on your next electric bill, the savings show up automatically. No contractor, no appointment, no invoice. Now here's the part most people stop at. They clean the coils once, feel good about it, and forget it for another 5 years. But there are 2 more things worth knowing. The first is the door gasket, that rubber seal around the edge of your refrigerator door. Close the door on a piece of paper. Try to pull it out. If it slides out easily, your gasket is failing. Warm air is leaking in. Cold air is leaking out. Your compressor is compensating. A replacement gasket costs $20 to $40 and snaps into place. No tools required on most models. The second is refrigerator placement. Most people push the refrigerator as far back as possible, against the wall. But condenser coils need airflow to dump heat. If the coils are on the back and the refrigerator is 2 inches from the wall, there is nowhere for the heat to go. The Department of Energy recommends at least 1 inch of clearance on the sides and 1 to 2 inches at the back for proper airflow. That is it. Pull it out slightly. Free. Costs nothing. Adds years to the compressor. I keep thinking about what Gary said before we ended our conversation. I asked him, after 26 years of seeing this in home after home, does it ever get to him? He said, every week I would walk into someone's kitchen. Nice family. Working hard, worried about the electric bill, and I would pull out the refrigerator, and there it was. 2 minutes with a vacuum and I could solve half their problem. But they called me because nobody ever told them. Not the guy who sold them the fridge, not the electrician who wired the kitchen, not the energy company sending them the bill. Nobody. He was quiet for a second. Then he said, a refrigerator should last 20 years. Most of the ones I saw were done at 10 or 12. Not because they were bad machines, because nobody cleaned the coils. Tonight, before you go to bed, pull your refrigerator out 6 inches, or pop the bottom grill off. Just look. Whatever you find behind there has been adding to your electric bill every single month. Order a coil brush online tonight. $6, 8 minutes this weekend, and your refrigerator will thank you for the next decade. Drop your fridge brand in the comments and tell me when you last cleaned the coils. I already know what most of you are going to say. Subscribe, because next week I am covering the $25 part inside your water heater that nobody replaces, and how skipping it turns a 20-year appliance into a 9-year appliance. Same story, different machine. I will see you there.